Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Bald Explorer live from sunny Worthing. And we've had sun in sunny Worthing today. Oh, it's been magnificent. The sun has been shining. There has been warmth on my cheeks. Have I got a tan? Have I got a tan? Am I brown all over? Do I look as if I've been away to the Mediterranean, ladies and gentlemen? Do I? Oh, marvellous. I want my whole head to look like a Trebor mint. Not a Trebor mint, what is it? A minstrel head, you know. One of those nice chocolate minstrels that apparently you can fashion wedding dresses without getting your hands covered in chocolate. Does it look like that? Not yet. I need a little bit more sunshine on there, but hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully, you know, the old tan, I'll get the driver's arm, you know, the lorry driver's taxi arm. Is it taxi arm they call it? I don't know what it is. Of course, I'll have to get my midriff out, get the old midriff, get the mutton, what do they call it, muffin tops, and make sure I get, you know, a little bit of patch here on my knees where the trousers have got holes in my knees. Nice little bit of tan over there. Oh, it's so lovely to have a bit of sunshine, ladies and gentlemen. So lovely to have a bit of sunshine. It's so nice. Welcome one and all to the Bald Explorer live show. I hope you're all out there having lots of fun. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are having the Skype Me session. The Skype Me. Now, I don't know how this is going to fashion out and work, because it's all a little bit daft and a little bit barking. But earlier today, ladies and gentlemen, Martin Snow... Where is Martin Snow? Martin Snow... Oh, no. Martin Snow's going to call in. Not quite yet, because we've got a few things to get through first, but we are going to try out the Skype and see if it works. I don't know if my bandwidth can handle it. It may not be able to handle it, and that will be, pulling out your hair time. And this is live, ladies and gentlemen, live. If you're watching on YouTube, you won't be able to Skype to me. If you're watching the rerun on Facebook, you won't be able to Skype to me. I do apologise about that. But if you're on the Bald Explorer page now, as I record this, you will indeed. And we'll let the calls go live. Now, I've got no call handler. There's no one to vet the calls, people can say. So there's no swearing, ladies and gentlemen. There's no nonsense, no funny business in our show. Not sure how I can actually get rid of you if you turn out to be a raving loony. But I will do my best. Anyway, thanks to the band. Thank you very much. Nice to see you. So let's first of all make sure there are actually people out there and that we are going out, which would be rather good. We've got Andy Ash, who's out there. We've got Terence Datcombe, which is fantastic. Terence, thank you very much indeed for your rather generous donation last night, which came in. I have got some thank yous to say on that. Stevie Blakey, another of my patrons. Thank you to you for your fantastic donation last night after the show. A number of you, including Jane as well, Jane Ainsley, the three of you so generously sent over some cash on the old PayPal to help the old Vobes One-Eyed Kenobi keep the show going. And in order to keep the show going, ladies and gentlemen, I keep trying to sort of, think of new things, new ideas and excitement for the year ahead. We're going to have the live show from different places. We'll talk a bit about that perhaps later on. And we're going to go to Glastonbury. My daughter wants to go up to she'd like to go to the Lake District, but to the Peak District. We've got some places there to look at, so we're going to do all of that. There's more exciting things that the Vobes will dream up. And I have been offered to sit on the back of the Victoria traction engine on the trailer doing the live show. Now, I don't know whether that is trundling along as we go. That would be amazing. Be like the old Monty Python, wouldn't it? Do you remember Monty Python, where he sat on a desk on the back of some sort of low loader going, and now for something completely different? It would be that sort of thing. So I'm hoping that we can do that. We've got the possibility to do some wacky and mad shows, and hopefully the madder and more wacky and from strange environments. So thank you very much to you. Elaine Brazier says, you are the highlight to the day. Well, that's so kind. People have been so kind. The emojis are flying, which is very nice. Russell McDonald Bell has joined. Malcolm Berry, hello to you. Kevin Hall, that is what you get when you're a granddad. Loads of cash. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am so thrilled to announce. Have I got some Christen the Baby music? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, the Christen the Baby music. My son Stanley has had a lovely bouncing baby boy, and I would love to have brought to you photos. Maybe tomorrow I will have some photos of the baby. I've given them congratulations, and I've left them alone a bit because they're just suddenly starstruck with their newborn baby. It's absolutely, he's a lovely boy, tons of hair, he looks an absolute gem, and they all look very contented, I'm very pleased to say. But tomorrow I'll try and get some pictures and share them. If I haven't really checked with them, so I ought to check. Is it all right if I put your son, who's only like a day old, on the internet? They may have something to say about that. Anyway, so thank you very much. That's very kind, Kevin. Malcolm Berry says good evening to everybody. Philip Scarborough has joined. Hello, Philip. It's lovely to... you might be able to Skype in. You might be able to Skype in. That would be fantastic. What's his name? His name's George. George, that's his name. I don't know. Harriet said to me, has he got a middle name? How heavy does he weigh? I said, all these questions, I don't know. He's baby weight. He's got arms and legs and a face, and he's got the old nose. He's got the Vobes nose, all right. Yeah, he's not messing about. No, he hasn't got the Kenneth Williams nose. Congratulations, says Kevin. Thank you very much. Ed Warren says, tons of hair like Grandad. That's right. Unfortunately, he needs to hang on to it, quite right. Wolf Solent, many congratulations. Thank you, Wolf. Judith Oakley says congratulations. Everyone's been sending me emails of congratulations and messages. It's been superb. Actually, whilst I think about it, I'm just going to turn my phone... Oh, I've turned my phone off. That's right. That good man. I've turned my phone off. Philip Scarborough is giving me the two-fingered salute, but the peaceful version of the two-fingered salute, which is rather good. So, anyway, so thank you very much. It's lovely to see you. Terry Wood's giving me a thumbs up. You're all very kind. And already a phone call is coming in. Now, bear with me. Hang on, I've got to... I'm just answering the phone. Now, hang on. Before you say anything, whoever you are, just bear with me 1 second, because I have to do a number of things in order to make this work. So just stay there for a second, because I wasn't quite ready for this. So firstly, when I take a phone call, ladies and gentlemen, I do have to put headphones on, because otherwise I can't hear the person ringing in. That's one thing, and you won't be able to hear them. And let me fade the music completely out. I also have to do a couple of things. Hang on, Mr. Person on the phone. I have to, in order to do that. Now, I don't know if you... we've got live footage here, ladies and gentlemen. So, I'm going to go straight over to our first... Oh, hang on. Somebody else is... I have to just ignore that one. Let's go over to... Who is calling, please, ladies and gentlemen, on the show on Skype?
Well, this is Micky Baines here.
Hello, Micky Baines. How are you?
No, I'm fine, thanks.
Cool, blimey, you're blasting. Hello, loads of people are calling. I'm just having to. I'm going to find a way to sort this out, because obviously I can't handle. I've got no one handling the call, so we may get interrupted by that funny little theme tune. Anyway, Micky Baines, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Peacehaven.
Oh, lovely Peacehaven.
It certainly is. And you're in lovely Worthing.
And I'm in lovely Worthing. And haven't it had a lovely sunny day today?
It's been brilliant, yeah. One thing I've got to say, Richard, is I take it you can see me, but I can't see you at all.
That's true. You won't be able to see me. I do apologise for that. And, of course, you very sensibly muted the stream, which is something I hadn't yet got round to saying is what people have to do. Otherwise, we get all that horrible feedback.
No problem.
So I can see that you're in your kitchen, and everybody can see also. Hopefully they can see in your kitchen. Now, I don't know if you can see your stream from Facebook, but I've now put the pair of us up, so they should be able to see both of us. I'm just checking to see if they can. Yeah, there we go. We've now gone live. There's this sort of weird delay doing this, but you can hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Right, okay. Well, you've preempted, because I was going to have a quick conversation with Martin Snow, who very kindly helped me set this up, but it doesn't matter. People have just rung in, because obviously I put Skype me. So I want to ask you, Micky, how did you find out about the Bald Explorer show?
From YouTube, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay. So
I watched it from YouTube, and then I come to Facebook, and then the Bald Explorer.
And how long ago was that?
Probably about a month ago.
Oh wow! So you hello. we got people ringing in. I need to put a don't call yet, because I'm on a call. I should think people could see that I'm actually on a call. But anyway, never mind. So you've been watching for about a month. You obviously, Willie, stop it, Mr. Snowman. You obviously like the walks, and now I hope you're liking the slightly frivolous, mad live shows.
Oh, I like the frivolous, mad shows. Yes, they're great. There's something to listen to in the evening.
Oh,
one thing I would like to say to you is I picked up your American tour.
Yes.
Today, and I thought that was pretty interesting too.
Well, there's another 3 parts to that video. I'm going to put them up each day so that we don't have overload. 2007. The thing about that was that we were completely funded by our listeners. It was when I was running my podcast in 2007, and somebody said to me, Phil Clark it was actually, he said, why don't you come over with your podcast to America? And I said, yeah, I'd love to, can't afford it. And he said, well, why don't you ask your listeners to fund it? So I said, all right then. And within about, 2 months or so, we had tickets, we had people offering to put us up in their houses, and somebody paid for the car hire. And my friend Jimmy and I, we rushed over.
It looks pretty interesting, what you've done anyway.
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. It was an incredible experience. Of course, have you ever been to America?
No, I haven't, no.
Everything. I mean, you probably know this, but until you experience, everything is bigger. Everything. I mean, the people are bigger, the houses are bigger, the plots of land are bigger. You have to go blooming miles before the landscape changes, which is most peculiar when you're used to England. Because, you know, where you are in Peacehaven, you can be on the sea, you can nip up the cliffs, you can be on the downs, on the other side of the downs, and in a lovely pub in the space of, 3-4 miles.
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah, over in America, we went to this place called Mansfield, which was in the video that you saw, and up there on that lovely white ranch-type house, he said, I'm going to take you out to our local restaurant, which was 40 miles away. The nearest restaurant, which was it was barking, absolutely barking. So there are merits to being in a very smaller country. So
and the fuel was a lot cheaper, was it?
Well, the fuel, because they're always staggered how expensive our fuel is here. I mean, because the fuel is cheap if you took off the tax.
That's right, yeah.
If you could take off the tax of our petrol, it would be incredibly cheap. But because that's never going to happen, is it?
No, that's not going to happen at all.
No. So what do you do, Micky?
Well,
that's a question. You didn't expect that one, did you?
No. I'm a house husband.
There we are. That's good enough. Why not? You're making sure that the tide comes in and that the tide goes out again.
Indeed, yes.
Yeah, there we are. You're really a coast guard, aren't you? Looking out for smugglers.
Yeah, that's another way of putting it, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's really kind of you to call in. I'm going to try and get as many people as we can on tonight's show who wants to be on Skype. But thank you so much for being our first one.
That's okay. It's a very interesting show. It's nice to listen to you, Richard.
Oh, well, it's lovely. Thank you so much. It's very kind of you. And hopefully, we, this summer, we're just going to do some more mad things as ideas come along. Somebody else is calling. Hang on, I'm ignoring everybody just for a second. But Micky, thank you so much. I'm going to say goodbye.
And goodbye to you too.
So that's very kind of you. I'll let you hang up if you don't mind, because I don't know how to do that at the moment.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, and off we go.
Cheerio, Micky. There we go. That's marvellous. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I can only take people as they come because I haven't worked out how to sort this out. Let me just first of all see if I can get hold of Martin Snow, because he was very keen. I've lost Skype now altogether. Where's Skype gone? Oh, God. Where's my Skype? My Skype has disappeared, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, here we go. Here's the snowman. Let's find out from Mr. Snow.
Where's Skype gone?
Now, hello, Martin. Martin.
Yes. My Skype disappeared, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, there you go. Now, Martin, you need to turn off. You need to turn off the stream.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to turn off the stream, otherwise it doesn't work. There we go. Marvellous. Let's see if we can get Martin on the picture. Here he is. Martin Snow. Hello. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
I've
sorted my camera out so I can use the one above the screen.
You're live, Martin, on the Bald Explorer show, which is fantastic. Thank you very much for helping me sort it all out, by the way.
Good.
Yeah, good. If you can look at your camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you look look at your camera when you talk to me, it just makes it very nice for the audience. So just a little bit of info there. That's marvellous. There we are. And I'll just put the 2-shot up back so people can see the pair of us. And whilst that's on, let me just see if there's any comments coming through. I assume we're still going out. We've got 52 people looking by. Yes, we've got emojis and various things. What have you been up to today, Martin Snow?
Well, I've been sorting out Skype with you.
You have? That's very true. That's very true.
That was a fun afternoon.
Yes, that was a few. We had a few blue words there, didn't we?
Surely not.
Surely not. Not the Vobes one-eyed Kenobi, but Martin Snow. Blimey, when you get in a strop, you know. Oh, I could see the toys flying out of the pram. He lies glibly. No, you're very patient with me, I have to say.
Yeah, it's one of those faults I've got. So.
Yeah, if you could look at the camera, look at the camera, look at the camera.
Oh, sorry.
There we go. That's it. It
just needs if I move the screen up, it'll.
You just need a bit of training, you see. I'm always thinking of what the audience sees, you see. But so you just have to train yourself to look at the camera. I know it feels very weird, but that's a hint. So, did you see that Micky had called in from Peacehaven?
Yes, I was trying to get in, and he got in.
He got in before. I know. I was going to let people know because I've actually put my status as invisible on Skype, so people shouldn't know I'm there. I turned it to invisible, so I would turn it off.
Yeah, you need to tell them that they should call you.
Yeah, well, they were. Don't worry.
Sorry, that you will call them. I mean,
well, I don't know who wants to ring. You see, that's the thing. Okay. But anyway, it's brilliant that we've had the conversation. We know it worked. Let's see who else would like. Okay, I know that Dean Abbott. Take care, Martin. It's been lovely to talk to you. There we go. That was Martin's. Yeah, I'll let you. He's gone. There we are. Marvellous. So if anybody else would like to have a quick chat to me, then you're very welcome. I've got my Sky working back. Dean Abbott ring. Let's see if I can get hold of Dean. Hang on a minute. Let's see. How does this work? We'll see if we can get hold of Dean. I'm ringing him now. Don't know if that's going to work. Oh, we can hear it going. Will he answer the phone? That's the question. We did have that problem when I was calling people. It didn't seem to work. He's not answering. He's not answering. Okay, so there we go. Dean, I did try to call you. It doesn't always work. I know that Paul Edwards is going to ring, but Paul doesn't actually have any... Oh, here we are. Dean's calling. That's marvellous. Okay, let's see if we can get him on. How do I answer it? Wait, no, I'm ringing him now. Hang on. Oh, God, it's going a bit barky. No, wait, hang on a minute. Okay, Sorry, Dean, can you do that again? Because we were dancing in the studio to the music. I was trying to find out how to answer you, and for some reason I couldn't seem to find the actual answer. If you could do that again, then that would be great. In the meantime, let's... here we go. Right. There we go. I think we've got him. We're tuning in. Hello, Dean. I'm new to Skype. Let's bung you up on the screen. There we are. Everybody can get to see you now. We've got the pair of us. Dean, thank you for calling. Hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, marvellous. I mean, we were only mucking about with this a few hours ago, and it's terrific that it's working.
Here we are.
And here we are. Dean, can you tell everybody where you're calling in from?
I am calling in from Central Ohio in America, the land of large things.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry about that. Because I open my mouth and I forget that people are actually listening to me, which is, of course, that's the name of the game. Dean, it's so nice of you to call. Now, I know that you're a professor, aren't you?
I am.
Could you tell us what you profess in?
I teach communication courses, so I teach public speaking and video production, and some media theory kind of courses.
Media theory. So, what do you make? What do you make of the Bald Explorer stuff then, in terms of media theory?
Well, I can say that I really enjoy all of your material. I was a big fan, particularly of your video walking around Cirencester.
Oh, well, I had this very nice chap who came over from America, actually, and we walked around Cirencester. He was a lovely bloke. I don't know if you know him. His name was Dean.
When you were talking a few moments ago about everything in America being larger, I had the opposite experience when I was in England last summer.
Yeah, of course.
I was very surprised by how small everything is.
It is small.
Or it seemed so to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think to us sometimes it seems small. I mean, we've got so used to it. Most people are used to it. But some of the houses that have gone up, I don't know if you've seen that some of our modern houses, which Martin always calls bunny hutches, but there is no room to swing a cat. And I don't suppose Americans would put up with that.
No, well, what we have here is we have miles and miles of what we call McMansions, sort of cheaply made homes that all look alike. So if you're driving down a highway, you can sometimes look out and just see miles and miles of identical homes, all built in sort of a cul-de-sac sort of design, right around one another, and it's very, very unappealing. But I think it is that Americans tend to sort of see themselves as entitled to an enormous home that they don't need.
Right, and you have got the space, haven't you? I mean, you've got sort of I was going to say acres, but it's more than acres. You've got miles and miles of space out there in which to do that.
Sure.
So why wouldn't you? Because we're an island, of course, we can't spread out any further, and we're very protective. Most of us are very protective of our green spaces and our woodlands and that sort of thing. Whereas you don't have to be quite so protective of it because you've got plenty of space. I mean, when I drove down from Chicago down to San Antonio, Texas, down through the sort of flat middle America there, I mean, the farms, are just huge amounts of space. You just it blows that 180 sky, 80 degree sky, just blows you away.
When I was probably 20, I went on a trip to Wyoming with a friend of mine, and we were going to stay one evening at a campground that was on a ranch.
Right. And
we turned into the driveway for the ranch, and it was probably a 45-minute drive back to the house because that's how big the ranch was.
Wow.
And so I started to get nervous thinking we were lost and that we had turned someplace and we were never going to come to a home or anything else.
Yeah, that's just and you're an American having that experience, so I can imagine that a Brit over there would be just going, "Hey, wait a minute, where's the Ordnance Survey map? How do we find out where it is?" It would drive us bonkers.
Well, there's a big difference in America too between the American West and where I live. The further east you go in America, the more congested things become. So if you're in Boston, Philadelphia, New York, everything is kind of smashed together, but the further west you go, until you get to California, you get those big spreads.
Yeah, now, I guess the further east you go, you're getting closer to England. So
exactly,
and I guess that's where where we sort of landed, and we were quite used to having small little bits of stuff. We're recording at 8:00. I mean, it's not 8:00 now; it's sometime after that. But what time is it where you are in Ohio?
It's almost 4:30 in the afternoon.
Ah.
So I see your shows in the middle, near the end of the workday.
Right. Oh, well, that's perfect. You can kick off your shoes, put your smoking jacket on, get your pipe out, and just kick back there with a little bit of Jack Daniels. Is that your little poison?
No, but that is an American drink made in Tennessee, which is 2 states south of us.
Right.
I used to live in Kentucky, in the county where bourbon was invented.
Oh. So what? Tell me, what is the difference between bourbon and just straight whiskey?
Now, I'm no whiskey expert,
right?
But my understanding, and someone could correct this, is that there are two main types of whiskey. One is Scotch,
right,
which is you know where that's produced,
the Scottish brand,
and the other is bourbon, which is produced in Kentucky. And I don't know if they're made from different things or made via some different process. So I don't really know what the difference is, but my understanding is that both bourbon and Scotch are kind of the main types of whiskey, and bourbon is a Kentucky thing.
Is it smooth? Is it smoother than whiskey? Because whiskey, I mean, it depends whether you've got a single malt or a blend and all of those sort of things. But I always think of bourbon as being a much smoother, and I'm guessing with the sweet tooth of the American. And the reason I say that is because I woke up one day in John Berger's house, one of my American listeners, and he gave us sausages for breakfast, and they had maple syrup in them.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And you're saying yes as if that's an ordinary thing.
Well, yes. I mean, maple syrup is it's in
everything.
Very ordinary American thing.
Yeah, well, we have golden syrup, but we don't put it on our sausages over here.
Well, it's interesting you bring this up. A couple of weeks ago, we took our children to a nearby farm that specializes in maple products.
Right.
And they had maple syrup, maple sugar, maple candy, maple cotton candy, maple coffee. So Americans are very accustomed to maple everything.
So, okay, so here's a rude question for you, and I know I'm going to get slapped by a lot of Americans. The Americans always take the mickey out of the British and their teeth. There's always a funny thing about that. Yet we do have sweet stuff, but we don't eat as much sweet stuff as, by the sounds of it, we don't put maple syrup on our sausages, and we don't have pancakes with syrup and then eggs and those sort of things at breakfast time. So how come the Americans have, this wonderful teeth? Is it all about going down to the dentist and having sort of special caps and fillings and stuff? Is that what the Americans do? I told you this is a rude question.
Yeah, that's a good question, and I don't know, except to say that, dental care and going to the dentist every 6 months is very much a part of middle-class American life. And it also may be that our dental system is private. Whereas yours, I suspect, is covered by the NHS, is it not?
Some of it, yeah. I mean, it's increasingly more difficult now for people to get in because dentists apparently are all depressed at the moment. I don't know why, because they're making an absolute fortune. But if you were stuck in a room all day long just filling people's mouths, horrible pus-ridden mouths with rotting teeth, I think I'd be pretty depressed. But they do make an absolute fortune out of it, so they shouldn't be too depressed. But I
wondered, though, because our dental system is entirely private, if there isn't more of an incentive for dentists and orthodontists to sell. And so we have, you can open the newspaper here and you have ads for dentists and what they can do for you and how they can make you look and that sort of thing. And it's run like any other business where they have to basically drum up business and find customers. Right. And so that may be part of why we have kind of widespread use of their services.
Would you say it's fairly cheap then to visit your dentist? I mean, because if we go to the dentist, you just know And what puts you off is that they're gonna say, oh yeah, you definitely need some fillings, or you definitely need a bit of root canal work, or you definitely need to have this, that, and the other, and you just know that it's going to be hundreds of pounds. There's only a certain amount of money that can go on the NHS, and it does depend on your status and stuff. But so then it's frightening because it's so expensive. Is it expensive in America?
I wouldn't say it's cheap. So it is covered by our health insurance,
right?
To some degree.
Okay.
But my oldest daughter now is 11, and she just had braces, and that's going to cost us a total of $5,000, I think, over 3 years or something that she has them.
Wow.
And I don't know, again, and that may be part of the difference too. I don't know how common that kind of corrective orthodontia is in England or in Europe generally, but it's very, very common here.
Listen, it's been fantastic to talk to you, Dean. We will do more of these Skypes, but obviously I want to give lots of people as many chances to get on air. And was there any other question that you wanted to ask me?
No, just to say hello, and how fortunate for George to have such a young and energetic grandfather.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm still in my 20s myself, mentally.
That's amazing. You really should call someone about that.
Yeah, I'm going to bottle it. I'm going to sell it. I'm going to bottle it and sell it. Dean, it's been brilliant to have you on the show. Do call again when we do it, and we'll have another chat. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. There we go.
Thank you.
I'll let you hang up. That's the issue, because I can't work out how to operate it all. But there
See you later.
Take care, Dean. Fantastic. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? I'm just going to nip into the chat room and see how people are. My chat room has completely and utterly frozen, so I assume that I can see the feed going out, so that's all right, but I can't see any of your comments, so I don't know what to do about that. Oh, wait a minute. I wonder if I can get down. I'm just trying to scroll up. What's your Skype name? Oh, that's a good question, Stevie. It's Richard Vobes, all one word. I'm just trying to find out where you are and how I get back to you. Pre-watershed only. Paul Watts is smiling. Evening. There's no timestamp on these, so I don't know quite which way to scroll, up or down. I'm coming down. Congratulations to all. My dad's name, Pam. It's great for Georgie to have such a young... Anyway, so if anybody else would like to call, then give us a call on the Skype Me show today, which would be fantastic. Just call in. Richard Vobes, put that into Skype. I don't know if I have to... just close that down. There we go. I don't know if I actually have to accept you as a friend or anything, so I don't know quite how that works. I know that Paul Edwards. Let's see if Paul Edwards is there. Let's see if we can grab hold of him. I'm just gonna ring him now. Let's try this. See if this works. It says it's connecting. We're ringing. When I call people, it doesn't seem to work. Okay. Paul, if you want to ring, you'll be very welcome to, or anybody else. If we are still going out, no, actually, there's so many funny things on my screen here. I have no idea. If I show you here, look, I'll show you that if I put the 2-shot up, you'll see I've got some weird things going on. So who knows? Yes, here we go. We've got him. Now, how do I do this? Here we go. Hello, Paul.
Hello, Richard. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Now, I know you haven't got any video, so if I put... you've got a nice smiling picture, so I put the smiling picture up.
Okay.
So, Paul, where are you calling from, just so everybody gets a vague idea?
I'm calling from Barton Seagrave, which is just on the outskirts of Kettering in Northamptonshire. And
Northamptonshire, I have to say, is very nice. It's a very nice part of the world. I've driven through, once you get out of Northants itself, Northampton, it's the scenery up there where you are is terrific.
It is, yes, and you've actually been in this studio here.
I have. Have you still got the mirror ball?
I have. I have, yes.
Because I should tell the listeners that Paul's been listening to the Vobes show when I used to do that for a long, long time. and I went up there. I think I had some work, and we met up and we did some recordings and various things. And I know you had your own bar, which was lovely, and a mirror ball.
Yes, the mirror ball's still there. It's changed slightly in here, but the studio is still here. I haven't used it for about 2 years because I've just been so busy. But so it took me a while to configure and get this microphone working, and that's why I don't have video. But perhaps some other time.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. So, because you used to run a podcast, but you're basically you're not a hairdresser as such, but your son is, and you're a bit of a sort of an entrepreneurial business owner, I suppose. Is that a correct way of saying it?
Yes, it is. My son, who is also Paul, is a really successful hairdresser, and we have 4 hair salons, one in Leicestershire, 1 in Rutland, and 2 in Northamptonshire. And I do everything but hair. In fact, we're just relocating our Kettering salon to a bigger one. So starting Friday, I'll be in there. You know, one day I could be doing the wages, running all the business kind of stuff, but I'm quite handy as well. So, I turn my hand to most things. But, Paul has been very successful, and we've opened the 4 salons over the last 6-7 years. And it's a great environment. If somebody had said to me 10 years ago I'd be involved in hair salons, I'd never believe it. But, yeah, it's great. I love the environment.
And you say salons, so salons really are just for women, as opposed to barbers, which are for men.
We do both.
Oh, do you? Oh, do you?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do both.
So I can come in and have a short back and sides, can I?
I don't have a lot of hair myself now, but yes, you can. You can come in. You can come in and one of the things that surprised me so much recently. We have one of our own hairdressers, but you can get these. Everybody remembers what the old toupees used to look like, don't they?
Yes, absolutely. Terrible things.
Terrible. But there's some new hair pieces that you get. And I've been speaking to somebody for maybe a year and didn't realise. And you can get these amazing hair pieces now that obviously they fit on the top of the head, and they are incredible. Expensive, but they are incredible. I may consider it myself.
I don't really need one because I think that would ruin my image. But if
being the bald explorer, yes, you could be the bald explorer with a hairpiece, I guess.
Yes, that's right. Now the other thing is the other thing I know about you is and this is something that I know very little about, but you are a mad golfer.
I am. I love golf. I didn't start till fairly late when I was about 32, and for many years friends have been saying to me, come on out, and I was saying, no, I don't want to do that. But I played a game, I gave in and played first game in about 1992, and I just love it. One of the things I love about golf is, in fact, your first caller from, where was he from?
Peacehaven.
I've played the course there. I've played Seaford Head as well, which is a wicked course. I've even played that between Worthing and Brighton. I think it's Lancing.
Oh, yeah.
On our way down to Rottingdean, where we stayed twice, actually. We played a little 9-hole course there. But I just love getting on courses in the middle of nowhere, beautiful sunny day, and hope that my golf is okay. It's not always. I wish I could play a lot better, but it's very enjoyable. And when people say it's a good walk spoilt, well, actually, if you get into it, it's not.
And you're talking about these places which are quite close to the sea, and places like Seaford Head and Peacehaven, of course, are right on the tops of cliffs. What is it with golf, which is a game that you knock a ball? I mean, I'm not a golfer at all, but that they like to play them in windy places. That must be part of the skill, then.
Yeah, it is challenging. As I'm just looking at one of the comments, Paul has a great voice for radio. Thank you. Perhaps he could start the Vobes radio show. I did do my own for 5 years. And anyway, it is a challenge in the wind. But, for us kind of average golfers, sometimes the wind helps, because if you're slicing it or hooking it, then the wind will, correct it for you. Really, really exceptional golfers are able to use the wind and all sorts of stuff, to correct the ball and send it. I'm amazed at how some people can control their clubs and the balls. But you're right. Yeah, I mean, Seaford Head is one of the toughest courses I've ever played, but has one of the most amazing 18th hole where you stand right on top of the hill. Somebody actually put a radio thing on your page recently and asked what it was. A funny looking thing on the ground, and that's actually in Seaford Head Golf Course.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, right, round about the 16th hole, I believe it is, at the side of it. Because I wondered when we played what on earth it was, and when I saw that picture, I thought,
there you are. Oh, right. Oh, how interesting. Oh, well, there you go. So I suppose I better ask then, because this is, just to put me in the sort of makes me look like I know what I'm talking about. What's your handicap, Paul?
It's usually around about 14, 16. 1 year it could be 14, 1 year 16. So I'm in the middle. 28 is what starter golfers play off. If you can get down to 1, that's fantastic. But the best I've ever got to is 14.
Right, brilliant. Well, I don't really know what that means, but fantastic. Well done.
14 handicap. If the golf course has a par of say 72, which means you should be able to go around that course with 72 shots.
Yes.
If you play off 14 and you go 14 shots over, you've played to your handicap.
Ah, right. Oh, okay. Fantastic. So, apart from golf then and the business, you're pretty busy. You don't have any other unusual and interesting hobbies and things, other than, of course, catching up with the Vobe. You've been a great supporter of mine for a long time.
Yes, I remember, actually. I don't know if you remember this. My wife and I came down to Worthing about 2010, something like that, and you and I, with another one of your listeners, went into a coffee bar and had a coffee.
I do remember
which
that.
Which is what you do at a coffee bar, I expect.
Well, that's true. I'm just trying to remember who it was now. Who was with us? It was somebody else, because I think we'd arranged... sorry, ladies and gentlemen, just a slight side moment here with Paul. We'd arranged to have this meeting, I think, some time before, and then I kind of got myself double booked with this other person who sort of just joined us, and I can't now for the life of me remember who it is. That's
right. I think he was from Kent or something like that.
I think he was passing through or something, and it was like, oh, well, great, back in the old early days. 2000, did you say 2010? Yeah, so we'd been going...
Something like 2000, yeah.
Yeah, it'd been going along for about 5 years. Well, listen, it's so nice of you to call. I really just trying this out, and I'd be interested to know what the viewers think about having callers in and Skype people, because it would be great in the future if we've got a topic that we're talking around to get, experts in or people who've got opinions in and that sort of thing. Because I know Chrissy out there is keen on anti-fracking and anti-chopping trees down for 5G. So, it may be that she can come on and bend my ear and give me a good telling off if I make the wrong jokes about it. But thank you, Paul. It's been...
Yes, and tell Julia if ever she's up this way and needs a purple streak, just to give us a call, and we'll do it perhaps on camera.
Oh, Julia, did you hear that? There we are. A purple streak. She's got all this magnificent purple hair. Yeah, no, that would be great. We must do that. Get her up there and film it. That would be superb.
Yeah. Well, the offer's there if she wants to.
Oh, you're a star, Paul. You're a star. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, and it's all working fantastically, Richard, and good luck.
Thanks very much, and thanks for all your support. There we go. I'll let you sign off, because, again, I haven't quite worked out how to do that, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, and I'll speak to you soon.
Take care, Paul.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. There we are. That was the lovely Paul Watts there. Hairdresser to the stars, ladies and gentlemen. So it's marvellous, isn't it? I can take these silly headphones off when I forgot. I don't have to have them on when I'm actually doing the show. So what is the time? We've been going for 43 minutes, and how many calls? We had 4 or 5 calls, which has been superb. Let's just... Now, before any more calls come in, ladies and gentlemen, just hold the phones. Hold the phones, Eric. Hold those phones. I just want to see if my... See if the streams come back to anything. No, I can't see the questions. Hang on, I'm just panning up. Pre-watershed. So my questions are not coming through, I'm sorry to say, or rather the comments are not coming through, so I cannot see. I gather that I am coming out, but I cannot see. I'm just going to expand this window and see if that corrects it, which is a right nuisance, because the last, as I say, it's not date stamped, so the last comment I've got is pre-watershed content only from Mark Selwood, which I don't know whether that was early. And then if I scroll right down here, I just get congratulations from... Oh, wait a minute. Hang on a minute. Purple Street. Yeah, well, hang on. They're coming back in. Did I just hear that right, says Julia. Yes, you did, Julia. We'll have to get you up there. I'll take you... If your dear husband doesn't mind, I shall take you up. We'll do a feature on the purple streak at Paul Watts Hairdressing. I think that's absolutely fantastic. That's up in Northants, so I bet there's plenty of nice old trees and nature trails and stuff to go and hunt for up there. Let me just turn my volume back up a bit because I was fiddling about. So that's very good. Emoji not working, says Kevin Hall. I am getting emojis here, so I just noticed my fake eye is closing up. I have this slight problem, ladies and gentlemen, that this eye, as you know, is a falsie. I wear falsies, ladies and gentlemen. Falsies, yes, I know. And this eye occasionally sort of has that habit of closing. I just saw myself then, and to me, of course, it looks absolutely horrible. But, it's worse now that I'm putting my finger in the eye, of course. So fantastic, says Julia. We'll get that filmed and we'll go up there. It's another little trip out, which will be lovely. Martin, so worried about all this streaking. Well, they used to do it at the cricket matches, didn't they, the old streaking? And I think there'll be nothing finer than Julia and I streaking across Northamptonshire. I think that would be absolutely superb. I'm going to take a small break. I want to play in something before anybody else calls. Perhaps nobody wants to call, but I want to play something in because it was quite funny. When I'm out filming, ladies and gentlemen, every now and again you come across people and they're not quite sure what you're up to. They think you're a bit raving mad. And I had such an occasion when I was filming yesterday. It was looking for the Rodmell or the Rodmell windmills. I was walking up this hill and I met these two people and have a look at their reaction.
Are you speaking to yourself?
I'm talking to myself. Well, I'm now talking to you, which is even nicer. How are you?
What are you doing?
Well, you're nosy, aren't you?
Yes, so am I.
I'm making a YouTube video. I do walks in the country through heritage. So I'm just taking... Oh, you sound worried. No.
Not at all, no.
I've just been looking at your positions of the old windmills that were here.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to find. So I'm looking for the other two which are up here.
There's one more up there, and there's one somewhere down here, isn't there? What? Windmills.
Windmills.
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
Oh,
the two windmills.
Yes.
1912 it was last around.
That's right.
Before your time.
Yes.
Well
Got
before.
pictures of it, yes.
Oh, there you go.
Only just before mine.
Yeah. Well, lovely to meet you.
Yes.
Out for a little stroll?
Well,
Yes.
yeah, I've
Yes.
got a...
Bad foot?
Yes, so
Oh.
Broken knee.
I'm being taken for a small walk.
But you know where the windmills were, don't you? You've done
I do, actually, now
Yes.
I come to think of it.
So tell
yes.
this gentleman. What? He's going to inspect where the windmill
But
sites.
you know, don't you?
I know that I was told there were three. One from dating 1590.
Well,
The first one.
was up there.
Yeah. Well, that's what I want to go and have a look at.
Then they moved them down there.
That's a sensible suggestion
Yes.
because I imagine everybody was down there.
Yeah, then it was sort of flatter. So I think that one got blown away.
Yes. Not
Yes.
surprised.
In fact, I've got a whole thing about them.
Oh, there you are. See? You knew all the time.
Well, yes, a bit slow.
That's all right. Well, have a lovely walk and I hope your foot gets better soon.
So do I.
Yes.
So do I. Thank you.
Take care.
Oh, there's some warmth.
Yes,
There's warmth now, isn't
I
there?
didn't worry about you at first when I saw you speaking.
Yes.
To nobody.
A lot of people worry about me, I tell you. Yes.
Okay, well,
Take care.
have fun.
Thank you. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Wasn't that amazing? That was absolutely fantastic. You're watching the Bald Explorer live on the Skype Me show, ladies and gentlemen. We've had a fantastic evening so far. I don't know if anybody else is interested in getting in touch. I saw that Alex Whitlock is trying to make a connection, so I don't know if he wants to call in. You'll be very welcome. If you've got any, I'll take a couple more calls before we go. This is rather splendid. I want your feedback about this as well. Are you enjoying this sort of thing? I'm not going to do it every day. I'm just going to make, one day where we do Skype stuff or we've got a special guest on Skype. That's different because I know it kind of adds a different sort of feeling to the show, but I'd be interested in your feedback on that. Do let me know. And if anybody else wants to give us a call, then that would be fantastic. Weren't they lovely? They were a nice couple, thank you. Dan Thompson says they're cute. Lovely people, says Kevin Hall. Nice couple, says Mick Baines. Mark Selwood, funny couple, brilliant couple. It's amazing who you meet when you're out and about. Very often people look at me as if I am completely mad, talking to myself, holding this funny little stick. And most of the time, of course, they're absolutely accurate. So there we go. Anyway, before I also move on, I just want to say, as I did say, I want to say thanks to Jane Ainsley, to Steve Blakey and Terry Dackham, Dackham, if that's how you pronounce your name, for the wonderful donations that came in. You are stars. You're helping the show by being a patron. Here we go, patron of Vobes, making sure that we put petrol in the car and able to go and do some of these mad things, such as buying the little EE modem, buying a whole load of data so that I can be live from different places, which is rather good. I want to also alert you to a thing that's happening at Shoreham Fort. I spoke to the lovely Gary Baines, I had a mental flip then, the lovely Gary Baines, who said to me, we can't just have a barbecue, you can't just have a barbecue at a scheduled monument just as and when you like, so he's going to have a word with the trustee. He said, what about a picnic, would that be alright? I said, well, you know, picnic would be fine, it's just another summer party, summer something to get together, but if that doesn't happen, we'll find somewhere else, but you know, giving Gary the first opportunity. He just reminded me that there's this interesting thing. I've been to one of them where Daryl Holter from the Sussex Police, he is, I made a video about this, he's doing this lecture or talk about heritage crime, and we want to try and just alert people that if you're in the area on the 26th, I think, I've lost a bit of paper now, the 26th, where is it? Here we are. 26th of March at Shoreham Fort between 11 and 3 in the afternoon. He's doing a presentation at 12 o'clock and 2 o'clock. Go along to that and find out case studies, ladies and gentlemen, case studies of heritage crime, what is considered heritage crime, and what to do about it, and what the police are doing up, and how serious they take it, because it is very important. Gary would have phoned in and told us all about that, but he said he's doing some presentations today, so sorry about that. So there we are, that's that little bit. Is there anybody wanting to give us a call? I'm just having a quick look on, no more calls on Skype coming through, so we've done nearly another hour, so maybe, have I done everything? The mill people video, oh, that was them. By the way, I had a message from Claire, one of the admins of the Bald Explorer group, reminding me that we've got nearly 500 people. When I last looked, there was 492 members of the Facebook Bald Explorer group. Very different to the page. It's a fantastic group. There's a lot of people in there, and people are able to talk to each other, and they're very, very friendly. People have been posting their pictures as ever. I wanted to have a quick look in there. So let's see what we've got. This morning, Lee Freeston has been out in Fishbourne and posted this lovely image of Chichester Cathedral first thing this morning, an early bird. He's got some more pictures in there for you to have a good gander at, which is rather nice. Oh yeah, Julia's been posting some pictures of our trip to Crowhurst in Surrey, and then on the way back we were in this car, and we passed this beautiful house, this timber frame building, which was a lodge to somewhere, I don't know where, but it said on the sign it was the North Lodge and South Lodge at the same time, which is a bit peculiar. But look at those beautiful, I mean, apart from all the timber and everything, which tells you it was somebody who had a lot of money, but look at those chimneys. They are lovely, good old-fashioned chimneys. So thanks, Julia, for posting that. Ed Warren has been out. It's lambing, ladies and gentlemen, lambing time. And here is the black sheep of the family. He's come out. You're going to tell he's going to be a naughty little sheep. Naughty little sheep. And he's been out and about. Ed, that is, not the sheep, although the sheep's been out. And Ed's got some fantastic pictures all around his cottage in North Chapel, which is rather good. Ed's very prolific with his camera. And I'm very pleased to see Judith Oakley has been posting pictures at Bramber, where we're going to be having a meet-up on the 28th of April. So I hope people are going to come along to that. There is Bramber, so you get a better look at that, and take a look at the other pictures in the group. Thank you very much. A lot of activity going on in there, and it's very lovely that you've been posting that. So let's see what you've been chatting about before we disappear. John Berger says, what's the Skype handle? Richard Vobes. Just put in Richard Vobes, all one word. Jane Ainsley is also saying that. I think it's Richard Vobes. Simon Brown. Russell McDonald Bell says, nice pictures. Simon Brown going, bah, bah. Simon, that one is showing. Oh, yes, sorry. It is showing offline. I beg your pardon. Yeah, hang on. There we go. It is. I just made it invisible, but I'm trying to make it active. Just ring it. Just ring it. I made it invisible. For some reason, I can't. I'm trying. I'm here trying to. It is active. It's just invisible. Just phone it. I am actually there. I've seen your message. Here we go. Here he is. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Hang on a minute. Yeah. I'm trying to answer. I am trying. Oh, hang on. I've got to put headphones.
There we go. We got something.
Here we go. Here he is. Now, John, you'll just need to mute the stream. If that's okay.
Not a problem.
Yeah, because I'm sure you're an old timer at this sort of. When I say old timer, I don't mean old or anything like that. Now I've just got to do a couple.
There we go.
There we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring you on. If I can just find you here. This is John Berger. Lovely.
Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hear you.
Sweet.
And we can see you.
Amazing. That scary, but whatever.
So, John, first of all, tell us where you're calling from.
I am calling from now snow-covered south central Pennsylvania.
Snow-covered, did you say? Oh, smoke-covered. It sounded like you said smoke-covered.
No, that would have been California a month ago.
Okay, fair dues. Why, was it on fire?
Yeah, a lot of it was.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Forest fires?
Yeah, throughout the state.
Oh, golly, that sounds dreadful. Well, luckily, we don't have forest fires over here because our trees, they're wet, so they don't catch fire.
You don't get enough sunshine and drought to have that happen with the rain.
All right, fair right. Be nice. So, now, have you been watching the show and have you seen the other Skype calls? I'm very interested to know how it's working. Is it working well?
They've been working fine for me.
Oh, cool. I'm very excited because, me, it's all a bit tin pot and wind up over here in jolly old Blighty.
You make it work. That's what counts.
Yeah, well, we've it's all thanks to Martin Snow this evening. Now, you're looking, I have to say there, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm sure everybody's going to agree, you're looking very dapper, firstly, with all your microphones and your all your equipment and your television in the background and your studio down there. Because when we came to stay, I think it was in a different house, wasn't it?
Different house,
and the cellar was dark and creepy, and you let us sleep down there, you swine, all alone.
You had to sleep somewhere. If you come over this time, we got plenty of room upstairs now for you.
Oh, that's fantastic. And also, looking at you, I would put that video, I don't know if you saw from our trip in USA yesterday, because after you saying, get off your backside and come over, I put up the video. And looking at you, you haven't aged. Somebody said I hadn't aged, and that's very easy if you haven't got any hair. In 10 years, you can get away with it quite easily. But you're looking very, very, very dapper and smart and fit and all those sort of things.
I don't know about the smart. That's just a front that I put on.
Yeah, well, you've combed your hair, which is more than I can do.
Well, yeah,
So,
I want to be presentable for your audience. I mean, come on now.
Well, absolutely. Now, you've got all that gear. Tell us why you have all that gear.
It's all your fault, actually.
Oh, yes, that's it. Blame the Vobes.
It is. Now, wait, keep in mind, It was when I first started listening to podcasting that I started listening to your show.
Right.
And then I was on your show a few times, and then I decided I'm going to try this for myself, and you encouraged me along the way.
Of course.
That was at least 10 years ago.
Right,
When were you over here? 2007?
2006. Was it? No, 2007. Yeah, that was the second.
2007.
It was the second. Yeah, it was the second trip. That's right. Yeah. No, you're right.
So that means I've been doing this for closer to 12 or 13 years.
I know. I know. It's a life commitment. This,
Yeah.
Podcasting, video casting, whatever it is. So you do a podcast? It's still a podcast, or do you do video now?
Still doing? No, it's still just audio.
Okay.
So there's my podcast over at widescreen.org, and then, of course, TGP Nominal with another fan of yours, Mark Taylor.
Oh, yeah, of course. Now, hang on. I'm going to slow you down a bit because, one of the things the Americans do is they talk very fast. So, I know, okay. So, just give us the name of your podcast because people may not have caught that.
Mine is simply the Widescreen Podcast. It's over at widescreen.org. Movies, home theater, occasionally video games, that sort of thing.
Okay,
That's pretty much what it's about.
Brilliant. I'm glad you said that because Julia, the lovely Julia, that's her name, you know, she was christened the lovely Julia. She is always referencing videos, films, movies, as you would call them. And she's always referencing videos. And of course, me being the square person that I am, slightly mad and buffoony, but I'm going, no, not heard of that one. No, don't know who they are. And Harriet, of course, does the same. She sort of mentions certain people in the public eye, and I have no idea. She says, but these are the film star. They're film people. And I'm going, wait a minute, John Mills. I know John Mills, and I know Richard Attenborough and those sort of things. So yeah. I'm a little bit out of kilter. So have you seen the one of the ones I did see recently was Darkest Hour, the Churchill thing?
I have not, but I've heard that Gary Oldman is absolutely fantastic in that.
I kind of liked it. You see, the thing is, when he does the speeches, he does them in his own style, which is, you know, we all know the Winston Churchill speeches. We know the intonations, and he did it slightly. For me, he did it slightly differently, but it was a wonderful insight. So what's the top film that you are recommending at the moment on widescreen.org?
I mean, that's not really a fair question because there's so many different types out there. The latest one that I saw that I was really thrilled with was Black Panther. They did a really good job with that one.
Okay,
but I know that's not really your style.
Yeah, I don't know what Black Panther is about. I'm assuming it's not a nature film.
No. That's action adventure, the whole Marvel Comics universe.
Oh, okay. So there's this thing. I've been listening to various things on YouTube, and there's this theory that at the moment, for the last, I don't know what, 10 years have we had these action Marvel comics superheroes, and the reason, tell me if this is absolute rubbish. The reason that that the superheroes is such a big thing with people is because real life is sort of going down the pan, and we're kind of looking up to super things because, you know, since we don't have the world wars that we used to have, when after the Second World War there were all these war films, and we had people that we could look up to, and we had you know, war heroes that would have like the John Mills stuff and Ice Cold in Alex and those sort of old films where you would have people that you could look up to who were real. But now we don't really have anybody to look up to, and because the world is going down the sieve very quickly, we've kind of had to invent these people, and so we have people with these incredible superpowers. Is that rubbish? Am I just watching the wrong YouTube videos?
I mean, I think we've always had that to some degree. I mean, sci-fi is certainly not new. Action, adventure, fiction movies are certainly not new. But I think now we're at a level where the technology can make them actually look realistic, whereas even, you know, you remember back in the 80s and so forth, you can tell when something was clearly green screened. It just had that effect to it. Nowadays, it can look realistic. I think they've finally gotten to a point where they know we're I don't want to say we're tired of the same thing over and over again because Hollywood is nothing but sequels, but it's just gotten where we finally have characters that we like. They're believable. The environments are believable. I don't know that we've ever
hang on
not had this.
They're believable.
In the sense that
when Superman came out, when Superman came out, you will believe a man can fly. I remember them saying, you know, you will believe a man can fly, and he was on strings and all on wires, and it was very good at its time, and that was great. But isn't it now? It's just more of the same.
It is, but they're also showing the superheroes with human frailties that they normally shied away from before.
And what's the point of that? Why not have humans in the film? Why not make them about humans with human frailties? We want the action heroes to be without that, don't we? The superheroes. Otherwise, they're not very super.
Yeah, but then they seem a bit too perfect.
Right.
And I think that has a tendency of turning people off too.
Exactly. I guess that was where I was going, you know, because if you strip out the superpowers, then they're just people, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
Yeah. Anyway, that's another debate, and we won't get into that. So so that was your recommendation. And how is how many children have you got now, by the way, John?
I've got 3 spawns.
3 spawns?
Yeah.
Because when we came over, you had one, and you had one and one on the way, or you had a little one? You had a little...
Something like that.
Something
like that. Oh, yeah, and congrats to you, old-timer,
well,
reaching the grandfather stage.
I know, it's a double-edged sword, because I'm immensely proud, but at the same time, it does push you into a sort of a mental feeling that's it. You've done. Your son now becomes you. Your son takes on that father role because he's got a son of his own or a child of his own, and now you're just that dotty, slightly senile old duffer in the corner. I mean, I know I've been slightly senile and a duffer, but I was of use to my children in a way that was I felt still part of it. Now I just going to be the old, the granddaddy in the corner.
But the good part is, if you have the kid and the kid starts to act up, you can just hand them back.
That is true. That is
you're
true.
Good there.
Yeah. No, I am immensely proud. So, and yours aren't anywhere near that age yet of producing.
No, not yet.
So there we go. Fantastic. Listen, John, it's been great. We're coming to... we've just gone over our hour, so I'm going to have to sort of go because I don't want this to be too long. But thank you so much for being my last caller. It's been lovely to have you on the show and great to talk to you again.
Great to talk to you. We haven't spoken in a long time. We need to fix this.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
it's I don't know what it is, but
all I know is it's great to see you back on the air again. This is what I've wanted you to be doing for how long now, to get back in doing this, and it's good to see you got it, and it's good to see that Bald Explorer's taken off.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing, but it's really thanks to everybody who watches, because without them and the contributors like all the people who've been helping, Julia and Harriet and Martin and all these people who help, because without them, you know what it's like doing these things on your own. It's very hard, the motivation to get out and do it. So it's
even just audio is hard enough. To go out and do the video like you do. Yeah. I mean, I've done video work, so I know how difficult that can be. But on the level that you do it, yeah, more power to you.
Thank you very much, John, and thank you for being a great supporter for all these years.
Not a problem, and you've always got a place to stay whenever you come back over.
I am going to come. Believe you me, I've got all the old people to say old people. I mean, all the old, the listeners to come and see. And so definitely got to do that and meet the new ones as well. So
sounds good.
Fantastic. Thank you, John.
All right, my friend. Have a good one.
Take care. Lovely to see you. Fantastic. There we are. That's John Berger. I'll let you sign yourself out because, as I said before, I still haven't worked out how to do it.
We're good.
Bye. Bye. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute hoot. I have done an hour's worth of show. Quickly say goodbye to everybody. Mint sauce we're getting here. I don't know quite what that was about. That's presumably to do with the lambs. Thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed this. Let me know. Send me a message on... don't put the message in here. Well, you can put a message in here because I will go and look at it back and see it. But or send me an email, richard@vobes.com. Tell me whether you liked it or not, or want to see more. It would be great in a live show somewhere else that we can get people Skyping in, but not necessarily a whole show. Still trying to work out the format. You know how it works. And we need to get a bit more madness and silliness into the show because we're just not silly enough, ladies and gentlemen. However, when you hear this, you know that I have got to go. Which is a bit of a shame, but that is the way it goes. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Thank you so much. You've all been absolutely marvellous. I am filming tomorrow at the Town House in Hove with Paul Couchman, one of our lovely viewers, at the in the Brunswick estate, a lovely, I think, 18th century, 19th century townhouse museum. I'll be telling you all about that. Friday, Julia and I are going lambing. My daughter Georgie hopefully will be joining us. And then in the evening I'm doing my windmill talk. So lots coming up. Thank you so much. Sorry about the extended extra long show. But until we see each other again, look after yourselves, keep smiling. And it's been lovely to be with you, and thank you for sharing your company with me. Till then, goodbye, ladies and gentlemen, goodbye! I don't know why I've got these headphones. I don't need the headphones. I don't need the headphones on anymore. Oh, it's mad, isn't it? Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen, goodbye!